it don't even sound. I want to put her on blast because she was telling me, you know, she was saying to me that what I was asking for was crazy and they wasn't spending money like that. I'm talking about you got footage, you got clothing, you got, I was doing footage, I had pictures, all the stuff that I had, you know, you could figure out a way to pay a brother and stuff like that. And then I was telling her about some prices that I've already received and I had the invoices to show it. And then she was calling me like I was lying. I was like, yo, who do you think you talking to? You know what I'm saying? And she was talking about, you know, there's no way nobody paid. Nobody what? I say, first of all you people come with these documentaries and stuff, the first thing you tell me, y'all tell these people out here that y'all don't pay, and y'all pay. You give, if you can make a picture look like $10,000, $15,000, you know what I'm saying? You can sit here and tell me that you're gonna pay me for my time sitting right down here with y'all. You understand? So then, you know, one thing led to another, and I was like, yeah, all right, well then, you know, F you, you know, I spoke to 50, and then she said 50, and this is exact words that came out her mouth. 50 does not determine what goes in and go out of this documentary.
Gone Deal has finally broken his silence, and what he's revealing is unbelievable. Remember that Netflix documentary about Diddy? Well, the footage Gone collected was so controversial that Netflix refused to show it. But now he's ready to leak everything 50 Cent had to censor. Gone, Diddy's former bodyguard who witnessed everything firsthand, has done a new interview, and this time, he's not holding anything back. He was originally supposed to appear in the Netflix documentary Sean Combs' The Reckoning. He spoke with 50 Cent for 45 minutes, and everything was set until the director, Alex Stapleton, disrespected him. Gone walked away, and all the stories that were cut are now coming out, exposing the real truth behind the City College tragedy, Anthony Wolf Jones, Kim Porter, and why major celebrities paid to stay out of the documentary. Everything Netflix left out is finally about to be revealed.
Well, what I feel about the documentary, they left a whole lot of key things out. If they was going to do something and they're going to say in the reckoning of Sean Combs, the reckoning, or Diddy, the reckoning and stuff like that, it should have been a lot of people that we lost because of him. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't only Big. It wasn't only Tupac, you understand? For the atmosphere that he put those kids in. You got a guy named Anthony Wolf Jones, who was from Bad Boy, from its conception as doing security and being one of the financiers of Puff having to have some money to keep Big and Craig Mack around before he got to Clyde David.
Gone wanted to do things the right way. He tried to set up a package deal with two men who knew Diddy from the very beginning, Tim and Kirk Burrows. Together, they could have told the full story, Diddy's early life, the street days, the business empire, everything. Gene asked for $50,000 for all three of them. Fair, considering the evidence they had, but then things got messy. Director Alex Stapleton told Gene something shocking. 50 Cent wasn't the one deciding what went into the documentary, and he didn't control who got paid. She said his name was basically just for promotion. Gene felt completely disrespected. He even showed her invoices proving what he'd been paid for past documentaries, and she still called him a liar. Meanwhile, Kirk Burrows was cutting secret side deals behind Gene's back. Gone was trying to make sure everyone got paid fairly, but Kirk was looking out for himself. So Gene walked away. That's why the Netflix documentary feels incomplete. The man who knew the most refused to participate. Now he's ready to reveal everything they left out. Let's start with how Bad Boy Records was really structured. Kirk Burrows originally owned 25% of the company, and Diddy owned 75% but under his mother Janice Combs' name. According to Gene, it was all a scheme to avoid legal responsibility after the City College tragedy, where 9 people died and lawsuits were expected. But Diddy wanted Kirk's share too. According to Kirk's own testimony, Diddy showed up with a baseball bat and forced him to sign over his stake. Kirk tried suing in 2003, but the case was dismissed because too much time had passed. He eventually ended up homeless, while Diddy became a billionaire off the company they built together. The documentary mentioned this, but only at the surface. Gene could have exposed the entire scheme, how Diddy hid assets, avoided lawsuits, and took over the company by force. But none of it made the final cut.
It was Puff, Heavy D, and Jessica. You know what I'm saying? Jessica was the reason why those kids lost their life, because she locked the door on those kids running down the step. You understand? You could see her name in a news article, but they didn't mention nothing about her taking place, but they try to put Heavy D, God bless the dead, out there, and they put Puff out there. You know what I'm saying? She should have been the main one, because she is the one who locked the door on the kids. You understand? She is the one who locked the door on the kids, and all those kids lost their life.
Now this is where things get really dark. Gene Deal says the documentary completely ignored an entire murder story. Anthony Wolf Jones. Wolf was Bad Boy's head of security from day one. He was there before Clive Davis, before the record deals, before the fame. He was one of Diddy's most loyal soldiers and knew everything, the secrets, the payoffs, and what really happened behind closed doors. According to Gene, Diddy's actions directly led to Wolf's murder. The documentary team didn't have the intel or the evidence to tell the story properly, or maybe they had it and chose not to use it. Wolf was killed by someone connected to BMF, one of the most powerful criminal organizations in hip-hop history. Gene claims there is a direct link between Wolf's death and Diddy, yet the documentary barely mentioned him at all. They showed a few photos, called him security, and moved on. Why? Because this story is dangerous. It involves real criminals, real violence, and real organized crime. Netflix didn't want to touch it. Even 50 Cent likely didn't want to go that deep. But Gene Deal insists this story matters because Wolf's death wasn't random. It was connected to everything else.
Marlon, have you seen that the documentary, the 50 Cent?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
For Diddy?
I haven't seen it.
Oh man, you worked
Everybody
hard.
telling me you got to see it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Part of me don't want to see it.
You probably don't.
Because it's all skewed, man. Like when you put stuff together, you create whatever narratives you want to, and at the end of the day, everybody being programmed. You know, right now the man's serving time.
Right.
You know, he went before the court. The court said this, and everything is God. But God said this is what he got to do. He got to do 5 years in pen. Let him do his 5 years.
This next story will make you furious. The documentary talked about the City College tragedy, but they didn't tell the full truth. Gene Deal was actually there that night, and what he reveals completely changes the story. On December 28, 1991, Diddy organized a celebrity basketball event at City College. The place was packed with stars Mike Tyson, LL Cool J, Heavy D, everyone. Gene's security team originally had 18 men, dogs, gates, and a full crowd control plan. But the day before the event, Diddy told Gene that Heavy D didn't want his security anymore. They were fired. No outside security. The night of the event, chaos erupted. Thousands rushed the entrance when Tyson and LL Cool J walked through the front door. People were crushed in the stairwell. But here's the part the documentary left out. Promoter Jessica Rosenblum panicked not about the crowd, but about the money box. Gene says she grabbed the cash and locked the bottom door to protect it. That locked door trapped hundreds of people. 9 kids died. Gene ran around the building trying to open doors. He performed CPR on a 17-year-old who still died in his arms. Jessica was never held accountable. The documentary skipped all of this. Behind the scenes, the drama was just as bad. Gene had set up a fair package deal for himself, Tim, and Kirk Burroughs, 3 insiders who knew Diddy from every angle. But director Alex Stapleton dismissed Gene's rates, ignored his evidence, and told him 50 Cent had no control over the documentary. Meanwhile, Kirk Burroughs was secretly negotiating his own deal and pressuring Gene to take less. Gene felt disrespected and walked away. That's why the documentary feels incomplete. They also barely mentioned Kim Porter, who died suddenly in 2018. Gene says she knew everything, yet the documentary avoided her story entirely. Too sensitive. Too dangerous. And what about the parties? Decades of celebrities attending Diddy's infamous events, yet not a single A-lister appeared in the documentary. Gene believes many paid to keep their names out. The result? A sanitized version of the truth that protects powerful people while exposing only Diddy.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not
disclose their sources.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day. Perhaps.
Speaking of celebrities staying quiet, look at what Marlon Wayans said about the documentary. When someone asked if he'd watched it, he said he hasn't and probably never will. Then he said something that caught everyone's attention. He called it a narrative and added, "When you put stuff together, you can create whatever story you want. Everybody's being programmed." Why would Marlon say that? Is he defending Diddy? Calling out the documentary for being biased? Or what many people believe, does he have his own experiences with Diddy that he doesn't want aired? There have been rumors about them for years, nothing confirmed, just whispers. So when Marlon refuses to watch the documentary and starts talking about programming, it makes you wonder what he knows. Gene Deal likely has information about Marlon and many other celebrities, but none of them wanted their stories included, so they stayed silent. Now let's get into the most controversial part of the whole documentary, the footage. The behind-the-scenes videos of Diddy before his arrest raised a huge question. Where did 50 Cent get it? The documentary shows Diddy in a New York hotel room talking to his lawyer on speakerphone, discussing strategy and the media. That footage was private. A videographer had filmed Diddy for his own records, and all of it was protected by NDAs. Yet somehow, it ended up in 50 Cent's hands. Diddy's lawyers immediately sent Netflix a cease and desist, calling it stolen footage that was never authorized for release. Netflix insists they got it legally, but won't say how. No one will. Some believe the videographer sold it because Diddy never paid him. Others think someone leaked it out of revenge. Either way, it's shady and raises questions about everything else in the documentary. Gene Deal adds another layer by talking about Diddy's history of violence, especially toward women. He once protected Misa Hilton, Justin's mother, because she was afraid of Diddy. Eric Sermon also recalled seeing Diddy attack Misa in the street. According to Gene, this behavior wasn't new. The Cassie footage shocked the world, but insiders had seen this for years. So what does Gene think of the documentary overall? He says it's old news. Everything shown, freak-offs, manipulation, violence, was already known in the industry. The only fresh element was the leaked footage of Diddy stressing before his arrest. Gene calls the rest shallow, sanitized, and incomplete. He believes the filmmakers avoided the deeper stories, the dangerous names, and the powerful celebrities who were involved. Instead, they put everything on Diddy and protected everyone else. Gene knows this because he lived it. He's been telling these stories for years, long before Netflix or 50 Cent got involved. What do you think they should have included? Drop your thoughts below. Stay aware out there.